welcome to Lovin' Life's Journey. I'm Chantel. Thank you so much for tuning in. In today's video, I have some DIYs for you that are very budget friendly, very easy to make, and they would make great gifts as well. I have done these in a farmhouse style, but you could change them up and do them in any style that you would like. Before we jump into that though, today I will also be announcing the winner of my Dollar Tree mystery box for February. And this is a monthly giveaway that I have started. This is actually the first one. And every month I will be posting a Dollar Tree haul, and that will be the video that you will enter the drawing. I'm going to be finding some of those more desirable Dollar Tree items that some of you are having a hard time finding. I'm going to compile them all into a mystery box, and I will be choosing one winner each month to send that box to. So a little bit later on in this video, I will be announcing the winner for the February Dollar Tree mystery box. So stay tuned for that. And now let's get started with the DIYs. For my first project, I will be using this lighted home sign that I found in the Crafter's Square section at Dollar Tree. And I'll be using some of this black and white checked ribbon, also from Dollar Tree. I'm going to be using some of this boxwood, and I believe I picked this up at Walmart. It was pretty inexpensive. And then I'll be using some chalk paint in the colors ivory and ink. First, I'm going to be painting the inside of this home sign using the ink chalk paint. This is just a black paint. You can use acrylic or just a craft paint that you have, but I'm painting this black because I want it to look kind of like a shadow behind the main word. Then I'm going to take the ivory chalk paint and paint the word. I'm going to paint just the front and then around the edges of the word home. Next, I'm going to take this metal paintbrush I picked up at Dollar Tree, and it's kind of a more coarse bristle brush, and I'm going to use some of the ink colored chalk paint, and I'm just going to put a little bit on my brush and then get the excess off. Just wipe that onto the paper towel, and then I'll dry brush this across the word just to give it a little bit of distressing. Next, I'm going to take my ribbon and I'm going to cut a few small pieces that are going to go behind the letters where the holes are. This is going to hide that light that's in there and also just add a little bit of accent and embellishment to it. And it was a little bit tricky to get the hot glue in there, but just keep working with it, and if you don't get it right, it's easy to kind of pull it out and replace it if you need to. Just use just a little bit of hot glue. It doesn't take very much to hold those pieces of ribbon in. Next, I'm going to take some of that boxwood and I'm just going to pull several pieces off. I think I used about 5 pieces total for this. And then I am going to place some on each end, just kind of tucking them in until I have it looking like I like it. And then I'm going to add a little bit of hot glue to secure those in. Next, I'm going to take that same black and white checked ribbon and create a bow. I'm going to loop my bow back and forth until I have 3 loops on each side. Then I will make a loop in the center. Then I'm going to take a piece of twine and tie it through the center and tie it tight to hold the bow all together. And then I'll just kind of fluff that up and then cut off my excess. I always leave my ribbon on the spool when I'm creating a bow because I cannot count the times that I have cut it off and then I don't have enough ribbon to make the size bow that I need. So that's just a trick that I use. I always leave it on the spool. It can be a little more awkward sometimes, but it has really saved me wasting a lot of ribbon. So that's why I do it that way. And then I'm just going to take that bow and glue it across that top piece, and that way it will sit over the top of that light and hide it. And here it is all finished. What a cute little farmhouse accent piece just to put anywhere around your home. And if you'd like to turn the light on, it's still fully operational, so you can do that as well. For my next project, I am going to be using this 2-pack of 3.5-inch terracotta pots from Dollar Tree. I also picked up some of these faux succulents, so I'll be using a couple of these. I'll be using 1 package of this decorative rope. And I'll be using some moss. This is just some that I had on hand, but you can usually find different types of moss at Dollar Tree as well. I'm going to be using this decorative rope for this because I didn't have any thicker twine on hand. I want to make it look more like twine and not rope, but the twine that I had was really thin, and so I wanted something a little thicker. So I'm going to take this rope and I am going to unravel it until I have it all separated into 3 separate strands. To keep the end of the rope from unraveling, I'm going to place a little bit of hot glue on the end and then just kind of squeeze that together using my little finger protectors from Dollar Tree. I love those things. And this will just keep it all together. And then I'm going to start on the top of the rim of the pot and just use my hot glue to glue it all the way around the rim. And then I will just start going down the side of the pot, applying glue, just not continuously, but every so often, just where I think I need it, until I get to the very bottom of the pot. And I actually did need more hot glue at the top of the pot than I did around the bottom. And it did take 1.5 strands to go around each pot. So with the 3 strands from the 1 package of rope, I was able to do both of these pots. So I am so excited to announce the winner of my very first Dollar Tree mystery box giveaway, and I just used a random comment picker and had it choose a comment from the comments on my Dollar Tree haul video that I posted a couple weeks ago. And I would like to say congratulations to Julie Giles. You are the winner of the February Dollar Tree mystery box. And so you will need to contact me, send me a message on Instagram, or my email is in the description box below. You can send me an email and I'll get the information so I can get your box out to you. Next, I'm just taking a paper towel and wadding that up and putting it in the bottom of the pot just to hold my little succulent up a little bit higher. And then I am going to fill in around the succulent with the moss. Now, I first used this brown Spanish moss, and I liked the contrast with the plant, but I thought that it blended in with the twine too much, and I didn't care for that. So I decided to try a couple other options. I had these white rocks that I had gotten at Dollar Tree sometime or another, and so I decided to take out the moss and try these because I thought, well, this will give it a lot of contrast. But it really wasn't the look that I was going for, although it looks pretty cool, I guess. And so I decided to try another type of moss, a green Spanish moss that I had gotten at Walmart, and I really like the texture and color of this moss, and so I decided to try it. And even though it doesn't give as much contrast with the plant, I think I like it the best. Let me know in the comments which of these three you like the best. For this next project, I will be using this sign that I picked up at Dollar Tree. These are fairly new and they have several different styles. I'm also going to be using some wooden beads. These are about 1/2 inch in size. This is a garland I picked up at Christmas time, and I will put in the description box below a link to some you can pick up on Amazon. I'll also be using some twine and a little bit of the brown Spanish moss. And I'll be using 3 of these little speckled eggs that I have had forever. I believe I just picked them up at like a Michael's or another craft store. So if you pick up your beads in bulk, then you're going to need to string them. These were already on a string because they were a garland, so I am just tying a knot in the end several times over to make a bigger knot of this, and I'm going to use the string that this is on, but if yours are just in a bag, then you can string them to make a hanger the size that you would like. So I just made that knot in the end, and then I am going to add some hot glue to the center of the bead and basically hot glue that knot inside the bead, and then just trim off the end of the string that's sticking out. Then I'm going to decide how long I want my hanger to be, and I'm just cutting my string, and then I'm going to secure the other end in the same way I did the first one with the knot and gluing it inside the bead. But to do this, I took the last bead off and then I tied my knot. Otherwise the string was not long enough to be able to tie the knot, and this way I could put the knot so that it would be inside that last bead. Now before I attach my hanger, I am going to take a little bit of the Spanish moss, and I mean just a little bit, and I'm going to kind of roll that in my hands, and I'm making a little nest, and I am going to glue that in the bottom left corner just to make a little embellishment on this sign. Then I'm going to add my 3 little speckled eggs to this for my little family in the nest. For the last step, I'm going to attach the hanger to the sign. Now, this is a really slick surface on the frame of this sign, and the hot glue just popped right off. It didn't stick at all. So I am going to be using some E6000, and I am going to use some hot glue to hold that on just long enough to hold this in place while the E6000 dries. And so you have to do this kind of carefully so that the hot glue doesn't pop off before the E6000 has a chance to dry. But I figured out if you set the sign up and then carefully attach it, it will stay in place while the E6000 dries. And you'll notice I'm resting the weight of the bead hanger on the top of the sign so that it doesn't pull the hot glue off. I hope you enjoyed these easy farmhouse budget-friendly projects. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps my channel to grow. And if you haven't subscribed yet, be sure to hit that subscribe button as well as the bell to set your notifications so that YouTube will notify you when I upload new videos. I'll have lots more DIYs to come in the future. Also, be sure to be watching for my next Dollar Tree haul video so that you can enter March's giveaway for the Dollar Tree mystery box. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all have a blessed day.